Metanoia.
I changed how I see it, same streets, new hard, I don't move how I did, metanoia. Had to die to my pride, if the mind don't shift, you just live in a lie, metanoia.
I changed how I see it, same streets, new hard, I don't move how I did, metanoia. Had to die to my pride, if the mind don't shift, you just live in a lie, change the mind. Change the life.
What's going on, family? Welcome to Metanoia. This is our third episode. Thanks for joining us. This is the podcast talking about change. What changed your life to bring you back to Christ?
Yes, sir.
What brought you to Christ? What happened in your life? Anything. We want to hear about it. My name is Omega.
I'm Jesse.
And I'm Mark. Right now we're here with Jesse and we're telling Jesse's story, how he came to Christ. Jesse, I've known for a while now. We all go to the same church.
Yes, sir.
It is a blessing to hear what you got to say. I love what you've been doing.
Thank
and
you,
I'm
family.
just going to be here and just say, continue to do what you're doing, man, and we got your back. So
100%.
let's get started, man.
All right, what's good, beloved? What's going on with y'all?
What's up,
Chilling, man.
We want to know
Chilling.
about you. We want to know your story. You know
Yeah.
what I'm talking
Oh man, it's let me see. I don't even know where to start. Tell you the truth.
Start from the beginning.
All right, so from the beginning, I'm just gonna put it this way. The way you see me now is the way I always been.
Yeah.
I always been laid back and quiet and in the crowd.
Right.
I'm always just watching. Right.
Right.
That's a good and a bad thing in some instances because I've been this way since I was a child to the point where it can be misleading in a sense where could be some devious things going on.
Right.
All right, sneaky even, so to say, just to be quite blunt with you guys.
Where'd you grow up at?
I grew up in the Bronx. I grew up in New York City. Regular household, mother, father, until I was probably around 10 years old was my family. My parents split up and
Yeah,
they got
okay.
divorced like 2 years later.
Okay.
But it wasn't even, I didn't realize how impactful that was in my life until maybe 2-3 years ago.
Really?
The split up, yeah.
2-3 years ago, as your adult?
As
2-3
an
years ago?
adult, as an adult.
2-3 years ago. Okay.
Yes,
Wow.
from this point, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So the most vivid picture I remember having was the night when my father left the house, and I remember him just putting his clothes in a garbage bag, and I'm sitting out looking out the window. You know, tenement buildings, you have fire escapes. So I'm looking through the fire escape, and I'm watching him walk up the street at night at dark, going towards the train station with his bags.
Wow.
And I felt like not knowing nothing until, like I said, about 2 years ago, how much of a brokenness that brought me. You know, I've been carrying a hurt for 40-something years, and it's pretty much is like this little boy that's been crying out all this time, looking for his father,
Right.
because there was no covering in the home. But anyway, that led to a lot of different things. Like I always found myself gravitating to being where the nuclear family would be. So my closest friend is a guy I knew since I was in the first grade. I would go to his house because he had the family structure I was looking for, the mother, the father, the brothers, sisters, even the dog, even though I don't care for dogs, that's another story. But it was always me pursuing some form of normalcy, brotherhood, whatever the case might be, and especially a covering from fatherhood.
Okay.
But from that point, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's a lot of people's story too.
Yeah, sure it is. Yeah,
100%.
but you have to recognize that's your story and not necessarily want to live in that and not make an excuse that that's how I am.
Right.
Because if you keep saying that's how I am, then there's no room for growth.
That's right.
Where we going with this?
Right.
100%.
But I know that's what led me to years of alcoholism, and it wasn't until, like I said, about 2 years ago that I realized that my problem was stem because of that missing of manhood and fatherhood in my life. So I've been searching for years for different things to kind of give me some form of peace, some form of security, some form of being wanted and belong.
So when you were coming up, how was it going through like elementary school, high school, middle school?
Elementary school was cool for the most part. High school is when it started to take a shift because, like I said, I've been wearing glasses since I've been probably like in the 6th grade, whatever the case may be, right? In high school, sometimes glasses is not your best friend, especially when you have those awkward years, when you're maturing and everything like that. You're going through puberty.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I said, when I was in high school, I went to all boys high school only because I was good in sports and it was known for sports in our area.
Okay.
We would sometimes go to girls' schools, just like especially when it was out of football season.
Yeah.
And I remember going with a group, my group of friends, and seeing a group of girls, and always being like, the girls would be attracted to the dudes I'm with, but they always be like, yeah, y'all cool, except for the one with the glasses on. and it's me, you know what I'm saying? Now, you 15, 16 years old, I'm
messing with you.
Yeah, messing with your ego, messing with your insecurities,
Right.
and you don't know what to do with this. But, you know what I'm
He told
saying?
you that to your face, though. Like, it wasn't like it was
Well,
behind your
honestly,
back.
he even told me to the face. He told to a friend of mine who wound up bringing it back to us. So, when you 16, dudes ain't got no filter. They don't really know. They know they getting theirs, but you just left out there dry. Yeah. So this is where, a lot of my issues came to play too, because let me go back a little bit. 10 years old is when my parents separated. Mm-hmm. But 10 years old that was a monumental year for me, because that was a year where I got introduced to pornography at a young age, at 10 years old. And this is through family. And I'm not going to go too deep in that, but this is through family, seeing this stuff, right? So now, to get to your point, your question, I'm 15, 16 years old. I don't feel like I'm attractive. I don't feel like I'm wanted.
So you went to where it was comfortable.
So I went to where my comfort zone was porn. And and unfortunately, I know a lot of men we might battle, even women battle this to some degree too, is that, we find partnership or peace in porn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it gets to a point where as you lose the whole sense of what reality is. You don't know what relationship looks like. You don't even know how to really talk to somebody, because all you know is like you're just trying to get what these dudes in the movies have been getting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that filters into relationships, misusing women at an early age because you're just naive and ignorant to what's going on, and just definitely immature.
Yeah.
But it becomes a different story when you still carry that on later in years into your marriage. And you have no remedy or even know that is even tainting your marriage. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because this has just been my lifestyle.
How was your the first couple of years of your marriage? Was it rocky? Like, were you able to handle it, dealing with what you were dealing with then? Like, did they mix, or were you good?
I think they mixed for the most part. I think I was able to hide it a lot better then. Or honestly, I mean, to be quite blunt, I didn't care.
Right.
I just didn't care. As long as I was still getting mine, regardless. And even in my marriage, I still had a child at the time too. Yeah. So it was just perverted all around.
Right.
But I became normal.
So when did you get out of that, and how was that conversation with your wife?
How did I get out of that?
Yeah, how did you break those chains?
Fam, what year we in?
2026.
I'm gonna be quite honest with you. It's still a daily struggle. Like, it's a daily struggle. I'm gonna put it this way. So I'm gonna come back to that question, right?
Okay.
So I'm just gonna fast forward just a little bit. Like most people, we come from a family line that has a lot of brokenness in it.
Yeah.
Right. And we might see the brokenness. Sometimes we don't say anything. We just observe a lot of stuff that's going on. Right. We might observe.
There's a lot of sweeping under the rug.
A lot of people, they don't want to say, they don't want to address anything.
But talk about it.
I think a lot of times though, they didn't even know how to address it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was never addressed.
That's true too.
And when this stuff does come out, it becomes a taboo. Mm-hmm. Whereas nobody have the capability of addressing anything. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until I got older and started going to church and really understanding it. But even going to church, that didn't even answer it right away. Yeah. That took years of even wanting to make a change, because you know how it is. It's difficult. Not difficult. But, you sit in the church, you get convicted while you're in there, but 2 hours later, you done forgot all about that conviction. You still living by your fleshly desires, right?
100%.
And you keep doing this over and over and over again, and then eventually something will click in. You know what I'm saying? So I've witnessed my family be through the perversions of different things in relationships, not necessarily talking about porn, but I know what's in there because if it got introduced to me through family members, it's already been brewed in there for all these years. Generation.
Yeah.
Alcoholism been brewing in my family, generation after generation. You know what I'm saying? Now, fortunately, I was able to break that part of alcoholism, but you know, there's still sometimes you still want to hold on to certain things because you just know what it is. You know, it becomes a regular. You know, it makes you feel like, you know, I didn't fully give up. Like you hold on to something, you don't even know why you're holding on to it. Right. But I'm still holding on to these things.
Even though they tell you that, you know, it's better when you don't do that, and you just gotta hold on and just get through it and just get stronger. And you like, man, this thing is on me.
It's on me. It's on me.
But you know, when you trying to stop something, it's never going to be easy, especially if it got a hold on you. Mm-hmm. But you got to keep working at it and not beating yourself up. You know, and Bishop talked about that too.
Right.
Don't.
Yeah, we know now.
We know now. We definitely know now. But back then, beating yourself up over what you did, even though you know you shouldn't have did it, was a thing. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
It's just amazing how you let so many little cracks in without sealing those things up. And you may focus on one thing, but there's so many other things coming behind it that either you're going to let it grab you or you're going to keep resisting it until either you get tired or you do overcome. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let's say, you know, this stuff like this has been in my family for years. And I remember just last year, I remember saying how, I'm telling you, God works in some ways, boy, I tell you. Last year, I remember I was getting ready to go to a family function, and I was in a men's small group, and I was like how the men in the group, I felt more like they were my family than my actual family because I couldn't relate to them on a lot of levels, you know, especially walking this walk that I'm in right now.
Right.
God had to check me on that because my thought was all wrong. You know what I'm saying? After I made that statement, I hurt my back. And at that family function, I couldn't do nothing but sit down. And he made me sit down so I can watch my family the way he wanted me to see them. And when I started looking at them, I started seeing hurt. I started seeing despair. I started seeing confusion. I started seeing all these things that I was saying that the interpretation I had of them was not what God revealed to me. Mm-hmm. He was like, your family is hurting and they need somebody
to help. He showed you got a job.
He told me there was some work to do and changed my lens of looking at how they were perceived in my vision and let me see them through what he wanted me to see them through. Which led me to them now even praying more for them, walking them through certain things. Right. But as I'm going through these things with them, my back is still hurting more and more and more each day. Which meant somebody told this to me too, is like, you know, you're going through a spiritual journey, not really a physical one. It's just manifesting the physical. Right. And I think I was carrying a lot of the stress and the weight of my family on my back that really wound up causing the affliction that I've been going through. Yeah. To the point whereas, you know, like I told both of you at one point, but, you know, even that ordeal became something crazy, going to different doctors because they're showing areas of my vertebrae that's fractured. It goes from there to me going to physical therapy, for me going to getting blood work done, and all these different tests. But when the blood work comes, it's showing all this abnormality of different, maybe a form of cancer. And I'm like, wait a minute, how did we get here? How did we get from a hurt back to now cancer? It's something in the bloodline that's tainted, it's showing, whatever the case may be. Right. So me knowing that the person I am now, God put me in a position where I had to walk by faith. I had to trust in his word and believe what he had to say and not own what the results and the facts were saying, which made me really just press in and delete doctors. I'm not condoning that, you know, but this is what God told me to do. Right. To delete the doctors and just trust him in the process. Take natural supplements, do exercises and all those things. And I did this for months at a time. And that time really had me pressing and really look at myself in the mirror. Now, to get to the point where I was saying about the pornography, it took me until last year to really break the habit. It took
that's awesome.
40 years, fam. 40 years. I feel like I've been in the wilderness for 40 years. Yeah. And I could sit here today and I could talk to the people on the camera And I can say, today I'm delivered.
Amen.
I can't speak about tomorrow because I can't look that far. I can only look about right now.
Amen.
And it's so good because what God has done is that he repositioned me to be a spokesman and to be a lead for the family to see hope in difficult times and be transparent and tell them about the different things I've been going through. Talk about the porn, talk about the alcoholism, talk about the family brokenness and stuff I had to go through with the insecurities.
Right.
And the more I started doing that, it seems like more conversation has been coming. And it's not about me, it's all about giving him glory. And I say that humbly,
Right.
because that's what it's all about.
Keep in mind what you just said too. You said, today you are, but tomorrow we speak things into existence.
Okay.
So if we give the enemy at least a little bit of a foothold, he going to take that. So if we say to ourselves, I am delivered.
Facts.
Completely.
That's facts. That's true.
Not just today.
Not just today.
Yeah.
I am healed.
I am healed.
I am healed.
Right.
100%. Not giving the enemy no way, shape, form, or fashion to get in there and say, oh, guess what? He good today, but guess what? Tomorrow morning, I'm gonna get him right in his ear.
Right.
I'm gonna show something's gonna pop up on his phone is gonna make me think, oh man, yeah. Just that small. But no, you healed. 100%.
It's funny you even say about the phone. I've even been so cautious on phones that I refuse to put myself in a position where I'm even gonna get tempted in anything like that.
Bro.
It's everywhere though. I know it is.
It's everywhere. It's on TV.
Yeah.
And not just that on TV. Like the men kissing men now is just like embedded in everything you watch. Like it could be something that don't even have to do it, and they'll throw that scene in there and say, yo, why you put that in there?
I'm gonna say it this way too. Let's not sleep.
It's crazy.
That's a whole nother
Yeah.
conversation.
No. I'm just saying though. Like it's literally everywhere.
It's
and
definitely
it's
wild.
every kind. You know what I'm saying?
Everything is just in everybody's face, and it shouldn't be.
Right.
It's a lot of perversion going on, and it just shouldn't be.
When me and my wife, when we're watching shows, and even when a male and female, and it could be PG, we'll fast forward it. And it's just something that we're comfortable with doing. Because I now feel uncomfortable. She'd be like, Mark, where's the remote? I'm like, oh shoot, here. And then I fast forward it. You know what I'm saying? That's just the thing that we do.
Yeah. I understand. I don't even watch TV like that, bro.
Yeah. Well, I'm watching like regular TV shows, and this jump just happened though.
I don't. Why you laughing?
He don't watch TV at
He's
all.
working out. That's why.
That's how he got so big.
No, cut it out. I just try to stay busy.
Big guy.
I just try to stay busy, man.
That's my guy.
Yeah, but you know what's funny though? Not funny, but as I sit here and talk to you, you don't understand. There's a level of still pain that's on my side. It's like I still got this thorn, and I think I look at it as two ways. Either one, God is keeping this thorn in my side as a reminder to stay obedient and stay on the straight and narrow, or when we pray for healing or deliverance, whatever the case may be, He might be like, "This is healing for you," and if that's the case, I gotta accept it.
Yeah.
Because this is what it is. If this is what's gonna keep me straight, it is what it is.
Did you ever ask him?
You know what? I don't even know if I ever did. That's a great question too.
Yeah. I mean, so it's good to have a relationship with our Father, a personal relationship. So anytime you have those type of questions, don't just ponder on it yourself. He's our source, right? So you can just go straight to Him and just ask Him, Dad, I got this thorn on my side.
Plus, you know how to talk to him the way you talk to him.
Yeah, you talk to him.
Yeah.
That's what Bishop be saying all the time.
Yeah.
Like, Bishop be like, he know how I come to him. Like,
It's a relationship that you have with Him.
That's
so
good.
you don't do it the way that we may do it.
Yep.
It's your personal relationship with God and how you approach Him and how He responds to you. It's unique for you.
That's good.
Yeah.
I receive that.
I got a question for you too. Going back, when you were coming up, were you in the church?
Not at all.
When did you get introduced to church?
All right, so
God and everything. Like,
so
when did you get
I'm gonna say this. I got baptized the first time when I was probably like 4 or 5 years old. I don't know what happened. I just remember seeing pictures.
Right.
I've gone through.
I did it young too.
Right.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us did.
I went to Catholic school all my life.
Really?
I went to Catholic school all my life.
Oh, shoot.
Got confirmation, baptized, and I mean, whatever it was, communion, confirmation, all those sacraments that was done there. But I never felt relationship. I never felt like I knew it. This is just, it felt like God was just a distant figure somewhere.
Yeah.
Just, it wasn't in my heart.
Yeah, you was just doing what you was told to do.
You was doing what you were told to do, right.
Mm-hmm.
I think
No relationship.
my turnaround came in 2009 when I went to rehab. And that got me the chance to actually sit down and understand, first of all, the addiction I was going through, and to understand how God was the answer for everything that I've been exhibiting, going through, whatever the case might be.
So you went to rehab for alcohol?
I went for alcohol, yeah.
Okay.
I put myself in there. And I was there for like, it was said about 6 weeks in Florida, whatever the case may be. Okay. And even down there was eye-opening because while some people would go through like regular sessions on Sundays, me and maybe 2 other people, they allowed us to go to church.
Oh, that's cool.
And we went to it was like a non-denomination. It was a big church. We went down there. And I would those times I felt peace.
Yeah.
And I feel like something, I'm on a right path for something. I just didn't know what it was. I was getting pulled, yeah. So by the time I came back home, because we already we're going to Victory like since 2007, but it was like off and on, in and out, whatever the case might be.
Okay.
I came back, and I remember when I came back, the day I came back from rehab, I went to the barbershop, and Elder Ron cut my hair, and I told him what I was going through. And he had a bracelet on his wrist. And he was selling these bracelets. It had Wrestle But Win on it, right? Mm-hmm. And I was telling him how I wanted to get a bracelet, but they ran out. And he was cutting my hair, and he took off the bracelet off his wrist and gave it to me. He was like, he said, we all have something that we're wrestling with. Yeah, he said, it doesn't matter if you wrestle as long as you win at the end. Yeah, and he gave me the one off his arm, and I was like, I thank him for that. Yeah. I had that for years until it broke, maybe about a couple of years ago.
I was about to ask you.
Yeah, it broke about a couple of years ago. But it was like that. That was still more the pulling. And I would come back, regularly, off and on throughout the course from 2009 on. But if something happened in 2017 was when I really got committed. Okay. I made it a priority. And when I made it a priority, stuff just started shifting. Mm-hmm. You know how we talk about speaking in tongues, it's like an utterance, whatever. Yeah, I remember going to a Wednesday night service, and as Bishop was talking about speaking in tongues and saying that, it's language, nobody knows what you're saying. It's just, it's an utterance.
It's a heavenly language.
And when I was walking to the car in the parking lot, my tongue just started doing like a something. It was just something going on. And next thing I know, I'm speaking in tongues. And I said, stuff like that was just, I just started receiving more. I started to understand what was going on. Mm-hmm. That helped me out also because maybe a couple of months later, my father got diagnosed with lung cancer. And I was able to have a peace and be with him those last days, the last months and weeks before he transitioned. Mm-hmm. My only thing that I wish I had asked him was really, I asked him if he was saved. He was like, yeah, I've been baptized. I'm like, that's not what saved is. Yeah. But I asked him in a way, like I kind of asked him in a way to make him say that he received Jesus. Uh-huh. But I wish I would have asked him more directly. Yeah. That's the only thing I wish I would have done. But other than that, I appreciate the time. Even though my father wasn't there all those years, and my relationship with him was solidified. Like I have no regrets or anything that was ever done. Mm-hmm. I understand he wasn't necessarily the father he could have been because the lack of examples. And I really don't necessarily say that's an excuse because as men, you figure when you become a father or a husband, you should know better. You should know to pick things up or know how to respond. But when somebody necessarily didn't want to answer the call initially, and he has these kids, he probably was just lost.
That or he was just comfortable.
Or comfortable, yeah.
Yeah,
I know. You have a relationship with him now? My fault. You have a relationship with him now?
Right. So you passed.
He's passed
he
away.
passed away. I'm
But before
thinking
he did, yeah, it was good. Yeah, he was all I needed him to be before he passed away. Like, there's nothing that I can say wrong about him from my eyes.
Right.
But that's my story.
So you forgave him?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
You know, there's times when you can be on fire for God, and you try to reach out to those loved ones that you like, man, I got to get to this person.
Yeah.
But what you have to understand, I don't know if you do or not, but I know for me, it took me a while to understand that you can't force nobody to do this.
You can't.
No.
You really can't, and it's like people will stay away from you.
Yeah.
If you try, or if it even looks like you're going that route, they'll stay away from you. So, you know, I have somebody that I'm close with that I want the same thing for. And it's just like, yo, God be like, don't waste your breath. Don't waste your breath. It's not going to end well. So, you know, I love him to death, but for me, I know it's just like, man, you wish, because you know there's an ending coming.
I'll look at it this way. I'm not going to sit here and try to convince anybody.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm going to just let them see what Jesus looks like in real time, the best way I can.
Yep.
You know, and allow God to just show me how I can present Christ to them. Mm-hmm. But that takes listening. It takes sitting still. It takes a level of commitment and obedience, and still and perseverance. You have to just be under the Word, to constantly get fed under the Word, so that you can just present Him wholly.
How do you feel about those people? I don't know if this happened to you. They're not doing right. They know what you're doing, and they'll call you and say, "Hey, can you pray for me?"
Out of those times.
Yeah. Because, and it's like, but the minute you start talking to them about it, they don't want nothing to do with it. Mm-hmm. But they'll call you.
I still pray for them. I pray for them.
But I don't understand that. Me personally, I don't understand it, because it's like, if you can call me to pray, that means you somewhere you believe.
Right.
You're just not beat.
Oh, they're not ready right now.
They're not ready.
Yeah.
They're just not ready. Yeah.
So I be going through that too.
Yeah. There's a level of grace that has to come with this walk. That's what I've come to, because I know a lot of times I look at God, I'm like, thank you, God, for grace, because I know you probably wanted to cut me off a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk.
You thought he wanted to.
I thought, we know the real.
He ain't trying to cut you off.
I'm like, geez, if I was something like this cat over
it ain't
here
that at all,
again,
man. I know, because
But
in our head we like,
right?
I wouldn't deal with you, and that's just the natural
real
in us.
talk.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. But
That's amazing, man.
yeah, you got anything?
I just want to know, what is your message, your overall message for anybody that might be going through the same thing that you're going through? Like, what would you tell somebody out there that has the same struggles? Like, what would you say to them right now? Even, no matter the age, young or old, what would you say to them?
The first thing I would say, well, what do you really want? What do you really want? Do you really want him? Or do you want you? Because somebody's going to have to go at the end of the day. If you want him, there's so much more that's open out there. With you, you're limited.
You got to show them what that looks like, too.
You got to show them what it looks like. Another thing I would say is obedience is your best form of worship. When I read the word and I look at all the stuff Israelites went through, it's all because of lack of obedience.
Yeah.
And being impatient and wanting stuff now, whatever the case may be. You have to be patient, because nothing's going to come overnight. And the last thing I would say is just try him.
Yep.
Just try God for a second. Just try and see how it goes. You know, once I stopped drinking and everything, I'm like, you know what? This sobriety thing is not bad. It's better than I thought it was. Mm-hmm. I'm going to try it another day. Another day became another day. Mm-hmm. And that became months and years. Okay. And I said, I'm not knocking anybody who does it. I mean, you could do you. I just couldn't do it. Right, because I didn't have the the stability, the strength, or the discipline.
Willpower.
I have the willpower to do it. Now, do I wish I could? That's another conversation for another day. But I just can't. I just know I can't. But I would just say, survey your heart. Survey your heart and see what are your real motives about a lot of things you do. If anything is about self-righteousness or just promoting you're in it for the wrong thing.
Right.
I think one of the things, I'm going to leave on this note, I've been reading the book of Matthew recently, and I come across the Beatitudes. And one of them ones that I think really stuck out to me was when Christ said, "Blessed are the pure heart, for they will see God." And you look at all the other ones, everyone's got blessings for this one, but the pure heart will see God. I'm like, well, what does that really mean? Am I going to really see him in his purest form? Or I'm going to see his glory in my life right now? So I survey my heart constantly because I just want to see him.
I tell you
want to
what,
see
man,
him.
anytime I call you with certain things that I'm dealing with, you give me great advice. So you listen to me and you don't just give me an answer that fits. Like you're not yesing me to death saying and soothing me. You think it through. And when I'm done talking to you, even with Omega 2, you guys do that. And I'm just like, you know what? All right, I got to look at it like that. Get out of my feelings and stuff like that. So you are doing it, man. I commend you for everything that you've gone through. So yeah, that's dope.
I commend you for what God has brought you through. So my last question is, how do you feel now? It might be a little question, but how do you feel now that you're out of that? And we're still going to hold true to what we talked about earlier about speaking things into existence.
Right.
How do you feel now that you are healed? Like, what is your praise like now?
First of all, I feel I'm humbled by it, like constantly humbled by it. For some reason I become more of a crier as I get older. I don't know why. I don't get sensitive in the drawers or something. I don't know. Becoming real sensitive, right?
It's all right.
So even last week, it's funny, even last week, I'm praising God and I'm just thanking him. You know what my praise is? I'm just thankful, God, that you heard me.
Yeah.
It's just that part. You heard me. You heard me pray. You heard me cry. You saw me when I was on my knees, giving it all up to you. You saw me when I sacrificed, when I do all these different fasts, when I blocked out a lot of communication just to focus on you. Not only did you heard me, you saw me, and I believe you really collected all my tears and you keep them as a reminder that I'm your son. And that part right there is the part that really that gets me going each and every day. And I can't turn back from that.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
That's good.
I respect that.
You're crazy.
That's awesome, bro. I'm glad you're where you are. So pretty much you heard about my boy's story. Continue to pray for him. Continue to pray for us and what we're doing. We're here to get out everybody's story that we interview. And what's that podcast?
Laced with Purpose.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they shouted us out the other day. So shout out to you guys. I hope the next time that we do this, you're sitting right here with us.
Joe, James, we need you over here.
Yes, check them out too. They got a great podcast.
You definitely do. On YouTube, was it Apple
Podcast.
Podcast?
Spotify, right? Are they on Spotify?
Probably on Spotify.
Okay, yeah. We coming.
Yeah.
We coming.
They on a lot of different platforms right now. They also are Victory Brothers.
Yes.
So yeah, definitely support them. Awesome brothers, really awesome brothers.
Thank you for rocking with us again, Jesse. It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you for having me.
Like I said, continue praying for us, man. We're newly at this, but we're gonna get it popping.
Oh, real quick.
What?
And also pray for those who are close to you too.
Yeah.
Make sure you keep everybody that's close to you in prayer, and pray for yourself.
Yes.
Cover yourself.
Yes.
Pray over yourself, cover yourself, and those who are near you.
So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. You'll see us. I got to get all the handles that we just newly added, but by the next time we do this, I'll make sure they're in. God bless. Have a good day.
Metanoia, I was stuck in my thoughts like a cell. Conversations with my demons, I was calling it hell. Had to order my steps, every move left a trail. Truth heavy on my chest, had my spirit in hell.